Two of the most electric SFL fan bases, the Chicago Wildcats and the Denver Nightwings, square off in prime time on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Alongside Mark Chisholm on stats, Ryan Caudell on analysis. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, Cam?
I'm doing great. Denver 3-6, the defending champions, on the brink. I was here last week and watched them blow a pretty dominating first half lead, and it turned into a big Seattle win. Now Denver, in desperate need of a victory, hosts the 5-4 Chicago Wildcats, who have lost more close games than I can count this season, trying to get to 6-4 with their second win in a row. Your keys to tonight's game, Brian, how do you see this one shaking out?
This game is all about playing as best as you can on offense. Both of these quarterbacks have been prone to turning the ball over, so it's about who's going to make the least amount of mistakes and which offense can really get that momentum, get going, and just plow over the other team.
Kickoff is next. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. You won't want to miss this one. Kramer Jackman, the growing legendary kicker for Denver, has the ball on the tee, the hand in the air, and let's go. Kick it. We're underway from Colorado. 5 yards deep in the end zone, and on the return, Davius Reed out to the 20-yard line, and that's where E.T. King will start with the football for Chicago. First down at the 20. Denver in the black helmets with the all-blue home uniforms, white helmets and black trim. Chicago in the all-white with the light gray helmets, the black numbers and orange trim. First and 10 at the 20. Two receivers and hit as he threw. King goes down. That tackle in the backfield made by Al Lewis, or attempted sack, I should say, but it results in an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he almost got his first sack of the year there, just coming through, powering through that lineman and getting his hands on E.T. King, breaking up that play and forcing a second and long.
Second down and 10. There's a look at Shan Varner. We'll get to check out the rest of the Chicago offense here momentarily. Denver's got 7 in the box right now, and the handoff goes to Ash Odom with one single high safety, and the wrap-up made by number 33, Jacob Gustafson. The Chicago impact players include King in his 7th season, Ash Odom and Mikey Improda in the backfield. Receivers Liam Hammer, Davius Reed, J.C. Torres on the outside. Tight end is number 88, Shan Varner, and they call him Anthony Automatic Cece, the kicker, wearing number 2. Third down and 5 for the Wildcats. Flip outside to Torres, but check the down marker. You're 2 yards short, young fella, and that's going to be a 3 and out for Chicago.
Yeah, that is just an unfortunate mistake for Chicago. I think E.T. King maybe led him a little bit too close, and he was a little bit too close to the sideline as well. And unfortunately, Chicago is going to go 3 and out.
The Denver Nightwings have to like that start to this evening. In major need of a win. They're a half game behind 5 different teams in the SFL at 4-6 coming into the night. An absolute log jam at 11th, one spot out of the playoffs as that ball returned up to the 38-yard line, and that's where Josh Miller will take the field for Denver.
And Denver is capable of great things when they're at home. This year they've had 2 home wins versus 2 big teams, Queen City and Baltimore. Both of those wins came at home. Both of those teams are top 4 teams, and they can do great things.
Miller's got split backs out of the gun. 3 receivers will drop to throw on the first play of the night. Deep pass is intercepted right at the last second. Returned back into Denver territory, all the way down to the 39-yard line. That is Ryan Yosef, signed just 2 weeks ago with the interception.
And that is exactly what I said before this game. Both of these quarterbacks are going to have to be very careful with the ball. Can't be making mistakes like that. And Ryan Yosef made a great play on that ball there. Just read the pass the entire way and took it right out of the receiver's hands.
Pass intended for Bryce Battle down the field, and it's like the 3 and out never happened for Chicago. They'll get the ball right back. Instead of a 3-yard out to Torres, it was a 33-yard route to Torres, and Chicago's sitting pretty. 1st and 10 at the Denver 39. Quickly outside to Torres, and they say, no, it's definitely a 3-yard out. And they pick up 3 on that one.
Yeah, that's why they call it the 3-yard out. Get yourself 3 yards, make it a little easier.
Chicago matriculating down the field here to start. Kings off to a 2 for 3 start. Both receptions for Torres on those little blips to the outside top of the screen. Liam Hammers at the bottom of the screen, and Kings going long to Torres this time. Pass is caught inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. Torres with another grab and a combo tackle made by Matt Papineau and Josh Vasquez of the Denver defense.
And that is a lot of power coming out of this Chicago offense right out of the gate. Now that they've gotten that interception and they're able to get the momentum back onto offense, they got a wide open play there.
2 backs and 2 receivers. Chicago taking full advantage of the Josh Miller interception. Hand off to Ash Odom inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, and let's meet that Denver Nightwings defense. Led by Josh Vasquez in his 4th season, he leads a bunch of youngins. On the line, number 58, DeMarcus Anderson, number 92, Al Lewis, number 99, Des Troyer. Linebackers, number 52, Adam Wiseman, number 55, Mel Davis to watch. In the secondary, Matt Papineau, Nick Kindler, Aiden Davis, and Jacob Gustafson along with Vasquez. 2nd down and 5 at the 6. King fires it outside, turn of the quarter, caught, touchdown for Torres, and he's in the end zone. And Chicago turns the interception from Ryan Yosef and turns it into 6.
And he had that big play earlier that got them here. He gets the play into the end zone. It's only fitting. The Chicago offense is off to a powerful start here.
So just inside the pylon goes Torres for the score. That'll make it 6-0 Chicago. Torres this season, that is his 2nd touchdown on now 40 receptions, over 400 yards, but a bit of a quiet season so far for the team's considered number 1 receiver. Topping that list is actually their tight end, Shan Varner, at 520 yards.
Yeah, I was really surprised that he was getting these big plays because they are typically a run-first offense with Ash Odom and their rookie Mike Improta in the backfield. But they decided to fire it, and it paid off big time.
8:35 to go in the first. It's early, but in the first game of the SFL doubleheader, as Battle returns it out to the 21-yard line. In the first game of the doubleheader, we saw Tulsa throw 5 interceptions, and that was really the difference in the game. They actually almost outgained Baltimore by almost 200 yards in the ball game. So fresh start for Denver here. Act like it never happened, and that Chicago got a touchdown on their first possession. Miller starts out of the shotgun, drops to throw. Josh Miller goes inside. That pass is caught by Logan Keel, and let's meet the Denver Impact players offensively. Josh Miller in his 5th season along with Jared McChesney at running back. Receivers, Giacomo Jones, number 11, Bryce Battle, number 14, and Logan Keel, 82. The tight end is Jeremy Mosley, and of course Kramer Jackman, the heralded kicker. Goes to the Kramer Show. Hand off, Jared McChesney got the first down up to the 32-yard line, and while we have a moment, let's take a look at the Chicago Wildcats impact players on the defensive side. Jesse Vick in his 4th season heads the secondary along with Mickey McGuire, Maurice Spurgeon, Ron Hoff, and Ryan Yosef, who already has the interception. In the front 7, defensive tackle Gerald Giudice and Raymond Jones III hold down the middle, and Clint Hendershot and Buddy Blaze inside-outside. Combo at linebacker. 1st and 10 at the 32, out to number 32, and McChesney is stuffed by Ron Hoff, only a gain of a yard. Barnes came over in support.
And this is that tough Chicago defense that has been able to hold these teams that they're playing. They have powerful offenses, but Chicago is able to hold them. They played Atlanta. Atlanta only got 6 points, but they're one of the best offenses in the league. And Denver is going to have to take every chance that they can get to score tonight.
2nd and 9 at the 33. 4 minutes in, 4 receivers, play action. Throw outside to Giacomo Jones. That's caught. They call him short of the first down. I think that might be worth a challenge. Get another look at it.
I think you're exactly right. I think he actually went out of bounds on the other side of the pylon. There's no way that he wouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. He was totally reaching over the line there.
You got to throw the flag.
Especially on 3rd and inches here.
Wow. Jacob Bouvette, the head coach of Denver, trusting that Jared McChesney can pick up half a yard. They'll hand it to him, and he can for the first down to the 43-yard line. That's how you hold on to the red flag, and maybe after last week's frustrating second half against Seattle, Denver might feel like they have bigger battles ahead tonight with the officials.
Yeah, you're right. You know, starting off with a challenge, challenging those officials, maybe not the best call for the head coach.
Battles in the slot. Jones, bottom of the screen. Keel, top of the screen, and a 4-2 look at Chicago's defense. McChesney offset left to Miller. Miller drops the pass, fires it quickly. He knew right where he was going with it, and pounding on to Logan Keel at the end of that play was Mickey McGuire. He's going to get flagged for a late hit, and that's a huge break for the Nightwings. That'll put the ball in field goal range.
That is a dangerous throw that he made and a dangerous hit to make on a receiver. Totally defenseless here. And it was a great play by the wide receiver there, Logan Keel, to hold on to the ball. And they're just getting extra yards out of it as well.
Hoff made initial contact on Keel. And McGuire a little bit too aggressive there at the end of the play. Trying to make a big hit. Look at that, all the way down to the 21.5-yard line for the Nightwings. Down a touchdown here very early against Chicago. 2 games separate these squads in the standings, as pretty much does everybody else too. Pickup of 8. That's the fullback on the catch. I thought that was my usual running mate, Pseudo Nakai, but instead it's Jay Brick, number 44, 6'2", 245 fullback, just signed this week. Welcome to the league.
Already making an impact in his first week.
2nd and 2 at the 14-yard line. 5:23 to go. Handoff to McChesney. He is stuffed by Clint Hendershot in the backfield. A loss of 2. And Clint Hendershot, 5th in the league among linebackers with 69 solo tackles. He is the vet on this defense, and he plays not clean. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he is one of the great linebackers around the league, and he's all over the place, always on the ball, making a play, any play.
3rd and 4 at the 16. Miller flips it outside. Caught by Mosley. First down to the 9. Yosef makes the tackle, but Denver moving the chains, and this is a nice response to giving up 7 points off turnovers.
Yeah, Denver's putting together a really good drive here, just driving the ball down the field really well, and also on that last play, I think Yosef saved a touchdown for sure.
4:28 to go in the first. Ball at the 9. Handoff to McChesney. McChesney could not find anything inside. Yosef comes up with another tackle. Ryan, I can honestly say, I'm not sure I've ever seen a running back hit an invisible hole and then bounce out of it and say, you know what, there's nothing good over here either.
Yeah, there was nothing there for him. The solid Chicago Wildcats defensive line just putting up a wall and not letting him get through.
2nd and goal at the 11 after the 2-yard loss. Chicago's run defense has been awesome tonight so far. Oh, what a throw! Touchdown! I don't know how that ball got to Logan Keel, but it's a score anyway. One of the best throws I've ever seen.
Are you kidding me? What was that? He threaded it right between the defender's hands. I didn't even think that was a catchable ball, but it was perfectly placed. Just right where it needed to be, right over the defender's shoulders. Just that was an amazing play by Josh Miller.
Wow. I mean, just you could check on the replay that at the very last second, Keel was able to get behind the defense, but the window of opportunity there was pretty insignificant, at least to the naked eye. Not to Josh Miller. And the extra point is good, and we have a tie ball game. The defending champions get themselves back in the playoff picture and make some noise. We're back to Denver after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. .353 to go in the first quarter. A tie ball game at 7. Chicago and Denver squaring off here in Week 10 of the SFL. It's our last TV game of the week here in Week 10, but 8 more coming your way in week number 11. 2 weeks left in the SFL's regular season. In fact, now just 24 games to go before the playoffs, and not a single team has been eliminated. And going back to Jay Brick's first catch of his career, Ryan, you're a offensive lineman in Vancouver. Do you remember your first punishing block of the season?
I don't quite remember on it who it was on, but I'm sure the defender doesn't realize it either because we hit him hard up in Vancouver.
First and 10 of the 23. The Legion 8-2 this season, second in the SFL. This is King's pass out to Varner for the first time tonight to pick up 5 yards. And it'll set up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, when all else fails, you can just lay on the ground and catch it too. Then you're automatically down. You don't get hit for it.
Varner is a wily old veteran, Ryan. That's a smart play. I'll just take a seat right over here. 3:21 to go in the first. Strong side left. Odom running that direction. Cannot get through a tackle, but does drag Adam Wiseman forward for a few yards. 4, in fact, to set up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Wiseman hit him right at the line, and Odom said, I'm getting these 4 yards, and you're coming with me.
Brava Gunner says 24 more games. Yes, in the regular season, that is. We have 10 games a week. There's 4 games left here in week 10. Deep ball, King! And Gustafson almost knocked that right into Aiden Davis's hands, and then Davis almost kicked it to himself. Either way, it's a 4th down, and Denver's defense off to a much better start here late in the first quarter than early.
I think that was Denver's defense coming in key. They're watching the film clearly. They see Liam Hamer taking that deep route. They like to throw it to Hamer. He averages 20 yards per reception, and Gustafson went up really, really high, looking like an NBA player up there.
I referenced Brava Gunner in the chat as Chicago punts it away. Also in the chat, Mike and Proda Rizabit, Jay Smooth 2254, the king of noodles, who proclaimed that. The real imp guy, BA Dynasty, Pseudo Nakai, Camp Commandment, Mark Anthony, and many more in the chat. And you can get involved at twitch.tv/FTF Next.
The king of noodles?
That apparently.
Wow.
Need to check that tour schedule. 1st and 10 at the 34. 4 receivers for Miller. Miller fires it outside, caught by Jones. And Giacomo Jones has been active early, picks up 8 yards. Miller up to 71, shaking off that early interception.
Yeah, he has come back after that one botch play. He came back on the next drive, and they put together a great drive, 11 plays, 50 yards, and a touchdown. And they're putting together a good drive here, getting 8 yards on that one play.
2nd and 2 at the 42. Handoff McChesney, -2 yards before this carry. He's got positive yards here. 8, in fact. And picks up a 1st down. Tackled at the end of that play by Buddy Blaze and company.
Yeah, McChesney, he hadn't gotten anything going against the Chicago defense. They were very prepared for the run. But McChesney was able to actually break this one outside a little bit because Chicago got bunched up in the middle because he'd been running so much up the middle. Able to get outside, get a 1st down. Good for Denver.
The brick getting out there making a block. Love to see the fullbacks work. 1st and 10 at midfield. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Denver moving from right to left. Handoff. McChesney got a couple more great blocks. 1st down and more. McChesney picks up 16 yards. Another 1st down.
And another outside run. I think he's kind of found a sweet spot here in Chicago's defense. They aren't covering that outside run very well, and he's able to break free, use his speed really well, and that great blocking as well by Denver's offensive line and fullback.
-2 yards on his first 3 carries, 24 yards on his last 2. So look at Miller's early numbers. 75 seconds left in the first quarter. Denver down 7-0 early, but they have stayed calm. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff McChesney behind a brick block. McChesney picks up 2. Gerald Giudice on the stop.
Giudice, a rookie, made a really good play there, able to come off his block right at the last second, able to get McChesney at the line. It was a great play by a rookie.
For those of you viewing for the first time, what are you watching? The Simulation Football League is the first control of this esport, allowing you, the viewer, to participate in all the action on the field without a controller in your hands as Battle gets the 1st down to the 21-yard line. Visit simulation.football for details on how to get started with a team and in the league. Vic on that last tackle.
And Miller's doing a good job of, now that he's got that one to Battle, he's able to spread the ball around a lot more to his star receivers especially. Everyone has a reception so far.
12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Trips off the left side, and Miller fires a wobbler to Giacomo Jones. The pass caught once again, marked just shy of the 1st down, and that ends the first quarter of play. Well, we're tied up, and we've had a very competitive back-and-forth football game. 3 more quarters of it to go. Don't go anywhere. The playoff picture, we'll talk about that when we come back from break. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. We'll be right back. Start of the second quarter here in Denver. Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. Chicago and Denver squared up at 7. 3 backs in the backfield for Josh Miller and the Nightwings. Mark Chisholm, Ryan Caudell, and Cameron Irvine with you as Jared McChesney. Oh, he almost scored a touchdown. Spurgeon single-handedly saved it, grabbing at the ankles.
That was a veteran tackle there. McChesney almost broke it through. He shut off about 2 other defenders trying to get it. Just barely got brought down there.
I've been really impressed with the resiliency really all season of the Denver Nightwings. They've gone through a lot of changes since winning that title, and it feels like forever ago. It was just October. That's it. And Denver they just feel like a different squad, but they have kept it together as best they can. They've had a lot of crazy games as McChesney gets dropped by Hendershot 1 yard short of the end zone, but yeah, it's just been a wacky season for Denver.
Yeah, they've never really been out of any games so far. It looks like they've been in control for a little bit, but then they usually slip away. But right now they look strong, and here's a touchdown.
And McChesney walks it in easily, 1 yard out. Ryan, you could have called that one as he picks up 6 more points for Denver.
I mean, I saw it coming right whenever I saw him fall on the fullback. Hole opened up the middle. As anyone could have called that.
59 seconds into the quarter, and this game early, the first play for Denver's offense was a pick by Ryan Yosef. Chicago took a 7-0 lead, and ever since then, it's been all Denver. Shout out to Bum Trippin' in the Twitch chat, asking what this is. And you might be tripping now, but you'll be tripping after you watch a little bit more of this football action, because it's pretty fun. Hundreds of players out on the field, real people, and of course coaches, owners, scouts, and you know, if you're wondering just exactly what is going on here, it's a simulation being played out after coaching staffs watched weeks worth of film and strategized on exactly what game plan they wanted to try and get executed here tonight, and it's out of their hands now, and everybody at home gets to kick back and watch it all unfold. And hey, maybe their player gets a catch like Jay Brick, scores a touchdown like Jared McChesney, gets an interception like Ryan Yosef, or just plain has a nice night and gets a W.
Hey, maybe they make a good block on a defensive lineman. Where's the love for O-linemen?
Sorry, I left you out. That is my fault. King, deep ball, step back, now step inside. Oh, wide open by Torres, and Varner, for that matter, was open pretty much just as much as Torres was down the field, and J.C. Torres picks up a first down.
Yeah, E.T. King is actually slinging the ball really well tonight. Normally he's not known for his arm. We're used to seeing Chicago run the ball a lot, and he's just slinging it, and these receivers are getting open, torching this Denver secondary.
4 for 6 for 34 yards and a touchdown so far for King, nearly a perfect QBR, and Torres has 60 of those yards on 4 grabs. 1st and 10 at the 48. King going long, passes caught by Hammer, then it's ruled a fumble, and then Wiseman picks it up as he's sliding out of bounds, and I'm not sure if Hammer had a chance to make a football move there. Ryan, what say you?
I don't think so either. I think he got hit right when he was about to catch it. I don't know if his feet quite got down on the ground there. We'll have to see if that left foot touches before he falls. But it was a clear recovery for Wiseman, and this could be huge, but there's the challenge flag.
Matt Papineau with the vicious hit, and Chicago will take a look at this. Right as they should. I think this can be overturned.
You're right. I think this is the right call for Chicago here. This is a huge play, change of momentum. You can't not challenge it here.
Can't really be mad at Papineau. Excellent hit, and Wiseman showing some heads-up football. How he was able to gain possession before he went out of bounds is crazy. Varner, who also coaches for this team, will not be charged a timeout. He wins the first challenge of the evening, and it'll result in an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was a huge play. They had to have challenged it because, I mean, anyone could have seen it. Even though it was a bang-bang play, you know, you have to get a double check on that.
2nd down and 10 at the 48. Handoff to Odom, and Odom picks up just a couple the 46. Wiseman trying to jar another football loose, or at least recover it there on that one.
Yeah, Wiseman, the outside linebacker for Denver, he's all over the place on every play. You know, he has 78 tackles this season already and 13 tackles for loss, so he will hit you early.
3rd down and 8 at the 46. This feels like a pivotal play here early on as King has all day to throw. Oh, it's caught by Reed over the outstretched arm of Nick Kindler. Reed's first catch of the night, but this was a DOT.
That was a beautiful throw by E.T. King. Both of these quarterbacks today are just playing out of their minds, throwing perfect passes, and that was a key moment for Chicago. Got to keep this drive alive, and E.T. King does it.
3 backs in the backfield now for Chicago. 7 in the box for Denver. Handoff to Odom. Odom only picks up a yard. You mentioned it earlier, Ryan, about the strong running game for Chicago. 16 yards on 4 carries for Odom. That's not the production we're used to seeing out of him.
Yeah, I think Denver came in here prepared for that rushing attack, and so that's why we're seeing more of Chicago throw the ball. If it's not working so much with Odom, you got to definitely rely on your quarterback.
2nd and 9. Odom again behind an Improta block, and he completely turned around Mel Davis. But Odom only able to pick up 2 yards. This is Chicago's last road game of the season. They will host Seattle in Week 11 and host London in Week 12, 2 teams below 500. Denver, their last home game of the season, they finish up at Vancouver and at Jacksonville. That is not a tough, or that is not an easy finish, as that pass was knocked away by number 33 Gustafson, and that's going to result in a CC field goal attempt.
Yeah, Denver's defense has come up huge here. They had that 3rd down last play that E.T. King was just barely able to get them to convert, and Denver makes another stop here, and they're going to have to go for the field goal.
7:37 to go. Anthony CC, call him automatic, and for good reason. CC this season is 24 of 24 on field goals. That is the 2nd most in the league, behind James Troll. The Trolls missed 3. This is from 49 yards away. CC's field goal is good. 25 of 25 for Anthony CC, the rookie, and Chicago down just 4.
He was a key pickup for Chicago. They picked him in the 3rd round of the draft this year, and he's paid dividends across the board. 25 field goals is not something to scoff at. That's more points than anyone else on the team has, I'm sure.
75 points for his squad this year. That's a lot of field goals.
Yeah, a lot of leg.
7:32 to go in the first half from the 3-yard line. Battle on the return. Gets it up to the 23. Visit Sector6Apparel.com for all league and team apparel, including hoodies, t-shirts, team jerseys, and more. Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the SFL. Have you seen the new Nightwings unis?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan, I need to get a uniform of all the teams in the league.
That'd be beautiful.
There's some awesome looking.
How'd you wear all those at once?
Be very hot. Go some Arctic place and stay warm. 1st and 10, McChesney breaks a tackle and picks up 5. What was that, Ryan? My apologies.
I think we could use extra jerseys up in Vancouver. I think it's really cold up there. That might warm us up.
Yeah, you're lucky that you're not in like Edmonton or Montreal. It gets way colder up there, but I see your point. 2nd and 5 at the 28. Ottawa has a new minor league team. Starts next month. Under 7 to go in the first half. McChesney will take another handoff. Breakaway from Hendershot. How often do you see that? Spurgeon again saves a disastrous play, but McChesney putting Hendershot in his rear view mirror. Right there.
That was just a great play from such a powerful back. And Hendershot, you know, we said it earlier, he has 69 solo tackles. That's 5th among linebackers in the league. And he got put on his stomach there. You never see that.
First down for Denver. The offense continues to click in a back and forth first half. Handoff McChesney. McChesney right up the middle. Picks up 6. And the tackle made by Mickey McGuire. Not many teams have been able to run on Chicago successfully. McChesney's got 55 yards on 11 carries, but that run defense for Chicago, second in the league. They give up just 77 a game.
Yeah, McChesney somehow carving through them. He's really improved after his first quarter.
2 receivers top of the screen. Miller flips it out to McChesney. Nice clear out route, and McChesney picks up the first down. I love that play, Ryan. The 2 receivers just go long. Everybody goes with them, and McChesney was all alone.
Yep, you draw those cornerbacks out of there, and then you force McChesney to just have to play against the linebackers who are probably going up the middle anyway, trying to cover those slants or anything, and then you can just throw that out route. That'll get you 5 yards every time.
Miller drops to throw. Deep ball with pressure in his face, and Vick knocks it away, saving a Giacomo Jones sixer. Second down.
I think Vic needs to put a little bit more sticky on a glove, maybe get some more Elmer's glue. Just pour it on there. Got to catch those if it hits you in the hands.
Follow the SFL on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and more, all at Simulation FL. Make sure to catch more content like The Kramer Show, game highlights, and more by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a moment of the action when we're not on television. Second and 10 at the 48. 2 receivers bottom of the screen. Miller drops to throw, flips it outside McChesney against some heavy pressure. McChesney picks up 6, and Denver for the first time tonight going to run some no huddle. I think they like what they saw on that last series. Look at the box. 9 in the box for Chicago. They're going to hand it off to McChesney anyway. There is a flag. I think somebody got turned around. Those dastardly offensive linemen, Ryan, might have grabbed some jersey there.
Yeah, McChesney going to be mad if that one comes back. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
The hold on the second tight end, R.J. Decker, might be relegated next week.
And that is why he is the second tight end.
Mosley saying that was not me, guys. Do not point the finger at me.
No, hey, get away from me. Listen,
that drags
I'm
him,
number 1.
Yeah, that drags him outside of field goal range. 3rd and 14, way outside of field goal range. Jackman might have booted one after that last McChesney run, and McChesney gets a block, then his second, but Hendershot says, I've had enough of you. 3rd tackle for Clint will bring up 4th down. And Denver will have to punt the football away. Chicago gets a much-needed stop.
Yeah, Hendershot able to make up for that missed tackle he had earlier and put McChesney on his back for once. And that penalty is costing them dearly.
So Denver's Solomon Kane will punt it away. Fair catch called for at the 12-yard line. And we'll take a break. Denver up 4. Chicago's got the ball back. Nail biter here in Week 10 on a Monday night on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Stay tuned. .358 to go in the first half. Denver 14, Chicago 10. The Night Wings are 3-6. They are right outside the mess at 4-6. 5 different teams at 4-6 coming into the night, and Denver can make it 6. Chicago there number 7 at 5-4. Deep ball, King, and he throws a pick. And then the receiver gets tackled, then a block inside the 15 down to the 10. What a return by Josh Vasquez, the veteran of this defense, and even better blocking by his defensive teammates.
And that was almost better than that punt that they had. They had to punt last drive, but now Vasquez here is making it up. I thought he was about to have another pick six. He had one last week. He almost ran this back if it weren't for a lineman and a receiver blocking his way.
Aiden Davis and Nick Kindler, 2 corners, playing hits, blocks, tackles, whatever you want to call them, down the field on the return. That was impressive, and Denver is set up 9 yards short of the end zone. Miller fires an outside battle, steps out of bounds after a gain of 2.
That route there, that throw to Giacomo Jones, I think they're setting up a shorter run for McChesney. They're gonna, I think they should pound him through here. He's able to get those 7 yards so easily against Chicago now, and I think he can do it again here.
3:40 to go in the first half. 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Bottom of the screen for Miller. Nickel look for Chicago. Play action, looking for Jones. Top of the screen, touchdown, the Denver Special. And the Nightwings lead by 10, and they have erased a 7-0 deficit with a 20-3 run.
And that was almost the exact same play that they ran last time with Giacomo Jones. He went out 3 yards. This time he went out to the end zone, and he just relied on a perfect ball from Josh Miller outside of the sidelines so that even if a Wildcat defender tried to make a play, he wouldn't be able to. It's just a perfect throw, perfect play. Denver's offense is rolling.
And if I'm a Nightwing fan, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, we've seen this before. We were up 24-6 last week at the half. We're going to just wait and see. Extra point is good. And the Nightwings take a 21-10 advantage. Brian, Chicago's got to get going here. Odom, 19 yards on 6 carries. Shan Varner's got 5 yards on 1 catch. J.C. Torres, the only one that showed up so far. That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, I think a lot of Chicago fans right now are kind of shaking their heads at the offense. You know, we're getting E.T. King. He's throwing the ball decently well. 6 for 11, 75 yards and a touchdown. But Odom's just not quite getting that run game going. And if Odom can step it up here in this into this second quarter, into the second half, then we're going to see this entire offense open up, and Chicago's going to be much better going forward.
Reed on the return up to the 21, getting back to the mishmash. I mean, that's a game and a half separating 7th and 15th place right there, Brian. Tulsa losing in our last game on FTF and 11 Sports against Baltimore in a game where they threw 5 interceptions but outgained Baltimore by almost 200 yards. But Tulsa slips to 9th, and Chicago now squarely in a tie with Jacksonville at 7th, just at the top of the wild card standings. Odom picks up 4.
Yeah, another run there where Ash Odom's trying to break free a little bit, trying to get some wiggle room, but Denver's linebacking core is not having it. I mean, you want 4 yards every time. You can take that. That'll get you first downs. But with not much time to go, you need to be getting bigger gains out of your running backs.
Second down, 6, 3 in the backfield. Handoff goes to Odom. He sidesteps 1. Ball in the left hand and tackled inside. That's always a dangerous play. Gustafson and Wiseman make the stop. Back to the top of those standings. Charleston loses this week. They fall into sole possession of 6th. Baltimore gets the win. Not really sure what the updated tiebreaker is with Queen City. We'll find out at the end of the night, but Baltimore could rise to 3rd in the standings. 3rd and 4, crowd on their feet, pass caught, and 1 yard shy is Varner. It was almost like he was GPSing the first down sticks on there. He was turning his head all over the place and fell out of bounds before he could get across.
That was just unfortunate. It looked like he almost had it, but just didn't quite see where it was. Unfortunately, they're going to have to punt here.
So the Nightwings' onslaught continues. The defending champions, a bit of a surprise 3-6 this season, but been very competitive, as you mentioned earlier, and continue to be competitive even against teams that are in playoff or squarely in the playoff race at the moment. They were one of the 3 teams that beat the Baltimore Vultures, and they'll take on Vancouver next week.
Yeah, one of the 3 teams that also beat Queen City as well. Another team
great
that's,
point.
Yeah, not easy to take down. And both of those wins came at home as well. Like I said earlier, they're at home tonight. We'll see if they can close this one out going into the second half.
What a tough home schedule. Defending champion schedule, always difficult. McChesney only got 2, Buddy Blaze makes the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute warning. 21-10, Denver on top of Chicago. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. And for the fans, we'll be right back. Two minutes left here in the first half. The Nightwings lead the Chicago Wildcats, who are 2 games ahead of them in the standings. Could be a valuable tiebreaker down the stretch for Denver and would certainly continue to improve their strength of victory, which is off the charts right now. 2nd and 8. Miller fires, pass, caught by Mosley. Picks up 9 yards to set up a 3rd and 1. And Miller is now 15 of 17 for 110 yards, despite the 1 interception. That's a pretty efficient night.
Yeah, that one incompletion that he has, or one of the incompletions that he has, would be that interception. He's been able to turn it around so well. Just even that adversity just takes it on the chin.
Flip outside. McChesney past midfield. Oh, took a lick from Mickey McGuire. McGuire's been doing that all night, legal or illegal. First down.
He does not care. McChesney gonna get the brunt of all of it too. That was painful. I can feel it up here.
Miller's got 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers. Keel at the bottom of the screen, right above the name Wildcats on the scorebook. Hand off to McChesney, and he'll get wrapped up from behind by Blaze. Interesting play call there. And let's see if they got a pass out of this no-huddle offense. 47 seconds to go, and it's a run to the outside this time, and Gerald Giudice shuts that down, and Denver says, all right, we got a problem. We got to get out of this and regroup.
Yeah, I don't like that formation that they were doing there with the fullback and the running back, 2 wide receivers on the field. Wasn't my favorite look for a 2-minute offense. I think you definitely need to get your receivers out there, get your fullback on the sideline. As much as you love him, he's not going to be much use here in the 2-minute drill.
4 receivers. McChesney alone in the backfield. Dime look for Chicago. The handoff to McChesney. Breaks a tackle. Oh, he had it! And then tackled from behind out of nowhere. Ryan Yosef having an unbelievable first half. Saves a touchdown.
He saved a touchdown earlier, and McChesney was this close to breaking that one outside. If Yosef didn't come off his block like that, that easily would have been a touchdown, and we would have been staring in disbelief.
This is interesting. 4th and 3. Now Denver has 1 timeout to spare, so if they were trying to hard count, I wouldn't blame them. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 3, and Miller's got it! Past the 35 to the 28-yard line. Is that a team desperate to stay in the playoff race or what?
That was beautiful. 4th and 3, and they went for it.
Gutsy call. Miller in trouble. Giudice forces a wobbler, and then Battle almost caught it at the end of it. Spurgeon in coverage stops the clock with 22 seconds to go.
Yeah, that ball, he had some pressure on him, Miller did, and the ball went just behind Battle. But that was just such a bold play that they had last play, going to that out route with Giacomo Jones again. They did it before when they got that touchdown. They can rely on that for some quick yardage anytime. 3
receivers now. Denver needing to get in the end zone rather quickly here. Can't can't dilly-daddle. That pass is caught. Last timeout taken. That is Giacomo Jones once again. He's been all over the field tonight.
Yeah, this second quarter has been very kind to Giacomo Jones.
Wow.
He's made some great plays, and look at that. 2 defenders' hands outstretched. Miller threads it in there, and Jones makes an amazing diving catch, and now Denver is knocking on the door yet again for the second time in 3 minutes.
Wow, and with no timeouts, Denver not going to take any chances. They'll kick the field goal. Even for the SFL, that's a bit early to pull out Jackman.
Yes.
I have a feeling Kramer has some sort of agreement with the coach's ears that they have to kick a certain amount of field goals every game in his contract.
There's a quota he has to make.
Yeah, bit of a diva, but he is one of the best kickers the SFL has ever seen, and he puts it through. 24-10, Denver leads by 14, leaves 15 seconds on the clock at 3 timeouts.
I mean, I can't blame Kramer. You got to pay the bills, you know? And those bonuses, especially for a kicker, you don't have big contracts. I mean, get all the money you can.
Let's see what Reed has. Boy, he might not even get a return, and he won't. Reed 6 yards back in the end zone. Check out the cops. Do you see the cops? Keeping the players safe down there. Shout out to the force. Making it happen.
Did you see the guy in the green suit with the brown mustache? I want his fit.
you want his fit?
I do. Nice.
I'm sorry I even brought it up. 1st and 10 at the 20. 14 seconds to go. King fires it outside, and Hammer turned the corner, but just couldn't get any more yards. Only got 5 with 10 seconds left.
Listen, you could tell me you don't want that suit jacket, but I know you're lying.
You know, thanks for calling me out. I'm not even going to deny it. 2nd and 5 at the 25. I'm already wearing every single team's uniform. I can't put a suit jacket on top of that.
Can't pull that jacket just over. We'll get one special tailored for you.
2nd and 5 at the 25. Straight back King. Floats one middle. Oh, my goodness. Gustafson laid the hit on Hammer and says, you know what? An interception does us no good here. I'm going for the Hammer shot. Look at this.
He touched the ball and then said, okay, now I can tackle you.
He didn't even care about the interception. Look at this. Look, I got it. Okay. All right, I'm done.
Oh, man, just getting that ball out of here. It doesn't matter. What matters here is laying the hammer and sending a message.
These two teams are hitting tonight. 7 seconds to go for the half. King outside, caught by Torres, out of bounds. Nice play. That might get him into King's range for a Hail Mary.
Hey, yeah, I mean, he was slinging it earlier. I'm sure if we watch him during practice, I'm sure he could throw it 60 yards. So, I mean, might as well. You got some big receivers on your end, that 6'6" Shane Varner, but looks like there's going to be a challenge.
Booth reviewing. I thought first glance he had it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that really made me think that he was out of bounds.
Looks into me.
Yeah. It's a weird way to slow down the game, Booth.
After review, the pass has been ruled incomplete.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's something. That's a terrible call.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, I think you're right. That was a weird review to make, and even weirder that it got turned over because he totally had a foot down. And now they're going to have to punt. And is Denver going to get another play here in the second half?
Maybe. Definitely a punt return for sure. Don't rule out Bryce Battle's expertise back there. He's got a couple of blockers. He disengaged and he gets stiffed at the 40. So that ends an exciting first half. A first half in which started all Chicago, but the Denver Nightwings, well, they're not going away and in fact lead by 14 points, hoping to overturn the misfortunes they had last week as we hit the 2K Sports halftime report, first half stats and highlights. Let's take a look. 256 to 117. How about the first downs? 15-3. Denver rolling, but somehow still only up 2 scores.
Yeah, really, Chicago's only positive drive came off of that interception that we see right here, and it got them some really good field position to get them up to score. But other than that, they haven't really had that field position again. They haven't really been able to get the offense going down the field. They haven't been driving as much as they would like to. Ash Odom only 25 yards on 8 attempts. E.T. King 7 for 15 for 80 yards here, and it's just not what Chicago wants. But Denver, they've been firing on all cylinders.
That was the play of the first half. That is an unbelievable pass to Logan Keel, and that's one of the things that separates these two teams. Join our Discord server and get involved in the community at simulation.football. That's http://simulation.football if you don't know how to use the internet. Who You Got is one of the fun things in the community that we have going on every season. It's just a regular pick'em from the community. 52-38. Not bad this year from the SFL community. 7-3 last week. So you figure, hey, the SFL might be a good game to get a line on. Well, this week, the community is 3 for 3, and about 2/3 of the community picked Chicago here tonight, hoping for a turnaround. Or the SFL community going sub 500 here in Week 10 predicting games.
Yeah, we don't see that very often. I know I participate every week. I'm probably the reason that we're doing so well. Let's be real here. But there's been a lot of upsets this week, and I think Denver is capable of pulling another one.
Sioux Falls and Jacksonville favorites tomorrow, along with Carolina, a home favorite, despite a worse record than Las Vegas, who comes to town. Second half about to get underway. Well, last week, Logan Keel was the dynamic sort of linchpin in this offense for the Nightwings. He disappeared in the second half, and so did Denver's O. Tonight, it's all about Giacomo Jones. 57 yards, 6 receptions on 7 targets. Can Chicago figure out how to shut him down, as Anthony Cece will kick the ball away to start the second half? From the 3-yard line, battle on the return past the 20 to the 25. And it's really, the Chicago defense done what it has done everything in their power. Haven't played poorly. Denver's offense just getting great field position all night.
Yeah, and Denver's defense is able to step it up as well, just shutting down Chicago. This is going to be the time where Chicago defense needs to step up and kill that momentum Denver has.
3 receivers for Miller, starts out of the gun, back to throw. Miller steps into a sack. Lost 8 yards. And Eagle Mondavi, signed in Week 8, gets the sack.
I think that is his first sack of the season, and that is exactly what Chicago needed, exactly what the doctor ordered for him. Get that stop, force a long second down here. Denver has to get some positive yardage here. If Chicago can get another stop, they're going to be looking pretty on third down.
Eagle just put Josh Miller on the endangered species list. 2nd and 18 at the 18-yard line. Trips left. Miller in some trouble. Shuffles around. Almost intercepted by Joseph again. I don't think he was expecting the football, and there you have it. Giacomo Jones' first target, and Chicago's all over him to start the second half.
Yeah, and I think for Chicago, there's so many threats they have to be concerned about. Giacomo Jones is a popular target for Josh Miller this game, and they were able to cover it, get that ball out of his hands, and now we're facing a long 3rd and 18 for Denver. They have to convert, or Chicago is going to be getting some more momentum going.
3rd and 18, an eerie start to the second half. Denver had against Seattle last week. Let's see if they can pick up a third down. Or a first down on 3rd and long. Miller flips it out. McChesney, go and do the work, kid. And McChesney can't get away from the first tackle. That's surprising. McGuire with another stop and a 3 and out for the Nightwings. Chicago's defense does its job.
Yeah, not my favorite play call on a 3rd and 18. Running back screen is not what you want. Maybe they can break through a little, but Chicago definitely saw right through that, and Mickey McGuire made a great open field tackle, and they didn't even need to worry about it.
Chicago going to get good field position here. Kick is away. Reed from the 43-yard line. Got a few. Up to the 46. 9:40 to go in the third. And E.T. King will trot back out there, completing less than 50% of his passes, Ryan.
Yeah, that is not what you want. Hopefully he got into the locker room. Sham Varner, head coach, hopefully pepped him up a little bit. You know, they got to get something going. They've gotten some great field position here. Thanks to their defense, they can't screw this up.
2 in the backfield, 2 receivers for King from his own 46. Starts the half of the pass. Caught by Varner. Shan Varner gets to the 49 and picks up 5. And BA Dynasty asking in the chat, is there a Pro Bowl this year with SFLM going on? Absolutely. You going to be in that Pro Bowl, Ryan?
You know, I hope so. I think, I mean, I was the first offensive lineman drafted. So hopefully that means the best.
There you
right?
go. Go on the offensive. Sell yourself. 2nd and 5. King deep. Caught by Hammer. And somehow able to stay up and get a few more yards all the way down to the 24-yard line. Davis and Gustafson on the combo.
Speaking of going on the offensive, E.T. King airs that ball out, finds the space between the 2 zones of the safeties there, and just threads the needle. Liam Hammer goes up, makes a great catch. And that is very good for Chicago. They're knocking on the door here.
8:50 to go in the third. Three in the backfield with Torres at the bottom of the screen. 7 in the box for Denver. Hand off to Odom. Weak side. Got a block. Got 2. Odom. Stiff arm. See you later, Vasquez. Touchdown, Chicago. It's a 1-possession game.
And that is the Ash Odom that Chicago fans wanted to see going into this game. He's such a powerful runner, and he can put anyone on their back. If you just look at this, he's such a beast and just puts the team on his back all the way to the house. Just a beautiful run.
Wildcats get a 3 and out, and they get a touchdown to start the second half. Can't ask for a better result. And the Nightwings, who won't be eliminated at 3 and 7, but any team with 7 losses, especially with the dog pile at the 6-loss record, going to have a pretty hard time sloshing through those tiebreakers at this point in the season. That extra point is good, and we'll take a break. 8:37 to go in the third quarter. We got a close ball game here in Week 10 of the Simulation Football League. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and for the fans. Don't go anywhere. .837 to go in the third quarter. Denver 24, Chicago 17. Along with Mark Chisholm, Ryan Caudell, I'm Cameron Irvine. You've tuned into the Simulation Football League here on a beautiful Tuesday night. Denver about 49 degrees, some isolated showers. Staying dry here tonight. Battle shakes 2, shakes a third. Gets out to the 27-yard line.
Denver's was a very nice run.
Yes, it was. Denver's got to shake. They got to shake this third quarter slump. How should they do it, Ryan? What do you think?
Well, I think they need to go back to what's been working, and Miller has been throwing the ball very well tonight. 19 completions, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They need to rely on that and let Jared McChesney do his thing as well.
McChesney dropped for a 2-yard loss. Judas Sessi, and is that Yosef in the backfield again? Ryan Yosef. Man, get this guy a raise. He's been awesome.
Yeah, he is having a monster game, and you know, when you're that strong safety, he sees the run coming, and he's able to plug the gap and get that great stop behind the line, and Denver is sweating again.
2nd and 12. That's the back-to-back first downs. They've lost yardage. Flip out McChesney. This time he's got a lot more room. McChesney gets 7. Tackle made by McGuire. And speaking of Yosef, one of 5 signings in Week 8 for Chicago. This Wildcat team in the middle of the season kind of cleaned house a bit. Had some players that were sort of at the end of their careers. They felt like they could make a push. Liam Hammer, Eagle Mondavi, Buddy Blaze, Mickey McGuire, Ryan Yosef, all coming onto the squad. Here on 3rd and 5, Miller's pass caught wide open as they flood the middle of the zone, and that pass hauled in by Jeremy Vega.
Denver not going down quietly. After that second down stop, McChesney gets some solid yardage, make this a 3rd and manageable, and Josh Miller just finds the open guy, and they get some positive yardage. Chicago, with all these rookies that they have, they lost Blake Craze recently, and he was a big part of this defense, and I think that's part of the reason that we're seeing these running backs getting more free.
A.J. Barnes, another one on this defense that was pretty vital, as Miller sidearms, and it's picked! Going the other way! Down the field is Ryan Yosef, touchdown!
I'm speechless, Cam.
Yeah, seriously.
What? This guy is a rookie signed in Week 8. He already has an interception in this game, and he just got a pick 6? Are you kidding me?
Back-to-back touchdowns for Chicago to start the 3rd. Man,
you know, I think it's in the name.
Is it? Ah,
yeah.
Yes. Yosef. That's what
yes,
you mean.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. Not the great first name that he has in Ryan. Come on.
Wow. Chicago's extra point is good. And somebody called Denver out of the locker room. Their lead has evaporated again. 6:50 to go in the 3rd. We're tied at 24. Won't want to miss the conclusion. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Ryan Yosef, hashtag making an impact on that last play. 6:50 to go. And Proda in the chat says, I'm sweating in my lounge chair. That's a sight. 1 yard away. Battle on to return. And you know, that's the awesome thing about the SFL, Ryan. I mean, Proda's out there knocking people around, fullback, blocking for Odom. He's watching his team climb from down 14 at the half, and he's just sitting and sweating it out. It's awesome.
Sweating out in his lounge chair.
Where else can you be a fullback and be in a lounge chair? Nowhere.
I mean,
1st and 10 at the 26. Miller flips it out, McChesney. And McChesney is quickly bottled up by Vic. Did get 5, though. And that at least is something for Denver. Got to stay ahead of the chains. McChesney now with 9 receptions for 46 yards.
And that's what McChesney is very good at. Most running backs, but especially McChesney, getting those solid just 5 to 7 yards every single play, as you see. You know, they had that 2nd and 12. He gets a reception for 7 yards and gets them a 3rd and 5. Gets another quick run here for 5 yards. He's just setting them up for success every time.
Miller's had back-to-back pick 6s. Dating back to last week, Razor had the one last week. McChesney loses 2 yards. And this run defense that was getting gashed in the first half showing up. It's another 3rd down for Denver. They have yet to move the chains in 3 drives.
Yeah, Hendershot coming up huge there. He is so good at getting those tackles behind the line, just making contact, anything. And that time it was the whole Chicago team as well, with Hendershot making that play.
Shotgun Miller. 3rd and 8. Over the middle, caught. Battle. Oh, nice play by Bryce Battle. Able to push ahead and move the chains. Hendershot with the tackle, but Battle too strong.
Yeah, the rookie, he's only 175 pounds out there, but he just lowers his shoulder and goes for that extra yardage because he knows the line to gain. He knows where he needs to be, and that was just a great play from that receiver.
3 in the backfield. 9 in the box for Chicago. McChesney breaks a tackle, gets a block. There goes Jared McChesney. 40, 35, 30. Chased from behind and caught by Maurice Spurgeon. How many times have we said tonight Maurice Spurgeon saves a touchdown?
Oh my gosh, too many. And McChesney, that's the explosiveness that you get out of these star running backs. He's able to just put Jesse Vick on his back, and he's off to the races. And luckily for Spurgeon, that Spurgeon was there, because he definitely would have been gone, and that was just a great run from McChesney.
Jesse Vick seeing birds around the head after that one.
Birds and rubber duckies.
1st and 10 at the 28. 3 in the backfield. Jones with the catch. Gets 9. And it feels like that McChesney run has calmed the spirits of the Denver offense.
Yeah, it's definitely given them a little bit more confidence, especially in Josh Miller. He knows that, they have McChesney and he can get those solid yards, and he's just able to throw the ball a little bit more lax here on 1st down. Now we're on 2nd down. It could be a quick game for McChesney.
Keel top of the screen, Jones bottom of the screen. Handoff McChesney. They continue to run into a stacked box, and Buddy Blaze is there. Another tackle in the backfield for the Chicago defense, and while it worked 2 plays ago, doesn't work there.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's actually Buddy Blaze's first tackle for a loss this season. He hasn't recorded one yet, and that was a great time to get one.
McGuire actually leading the team in tackles right now with 8 at corner, 3rd and 4 in this game anyway. Pass caught by Keel, 1st down to the 14-yard line. Had to go full extension on that one. Miller now 24 for 29 for 190 yards.
Yeah, and that was a very good catch by Logan Keel. He actually only got 1 foot. It looked like he had to go up and just get that 1 foot down. That's all that matters. And able to get out of bounds. It was a good gain.
Shout outs to Fear Dog, Guap Later 303, Real Imp Guy, Mince and Mind, Denver Night Wings, Mike Improda, Risbit, Mince and Mind all in there. Pass caught, touchdown for Denver. And they strike back with Bryce Battle. Now up into the 30s.
And this is going to be a shootout here. Both of these offenses are really finding their stride. Denver able to come down and drive down the field after the pick 6, especially, and just it doesn't phase Josh Miller. And I have no idea also how Bryce Battle got that open.
Well, Denver can take a breath after giving away a 14-point lead. They go back up by 7, and this Chicago defense gives up 22 points a game. They've already given up 30 here in the third quarter. Denver usually gives up 25. Chicago's got 24 with 14.5 minutes of action to go. We'll be back. Chicago's offense has the football when we return. Back here at Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, 3:35 to go in the third quarter. Denver leads 31-24 alongside Mark Chisholm, Ryan Caudell. I'm Cameron Irvine, and for the Denver Night Wings, they're up over 30, and that's the first time since beating Queen City back in February. February 16th, over a month ago, as Reed gets it up to the 23-yard line.
Got to feel good for Night Wings fans to be able to see their offense powering through any adversity that they face. You know, here in the second half, Chicago was able to bring it back, but Josh Miller, just after throwing a pick six, he gets back on his horse, he knows what he has to do, and he's able to put together a great drive for Denver.
Chicago's defense in the last 2 weeks have given up a combined 27 points. They've given up 31 here tonight. Torres makes the catch, turns the corner, picks up 6, and Papineau makes the stop. Just 128 yards for E.T. King.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising considering how much we've been seeing them score, but I think those points are mostly coming off of defensive plays from Chicago. You know, that big pick six, big interception, getting them some field position. So he hasn't had much yards to go, but he's still getting the points.
Back to pass. King pumps and fires it out to Hammer for the first down to the 40. 2:57 left in the third.
That was just a great throw. Get him out of bounds. I mean, it stops the clock. They don't really need to save clock, but it does it anyway, and it was a great gain.
And a challenge from Denver.
The Wranglers are challenging.
And let's get a look. We've been wrong before on this, right?
Yeah, we have, and far too often for my comfort. But I guess the coach must have seen something. I thought he got the foot down, and
I think he's in too.
After review, the pass has been ruled incomplete. The catch was made.
Wow.
Wow, we really are not on the same page with the official tonight. That's not often any broadcast crew goes for two, and we get the dubious honor tonight.
But we're 1 for 3. That is not great.
3rd and 4 at the 29. 2:57 to go. Off the incomplete pass, patting the ball again is King, going long. The pass is intercepted by Vasquez, his second, and Denver is taking back momentum here in the third.
Joseph has a pair of interceptions. Vasquez sees what he's doing, and he knows he can do it better. That was just a beautiful catch, just going up for it. And Hammer had no chance to even make a play there. And Denver regaining momentum again.
20 carries, 94 yards. Not too bad of a night for McChesney considering what he's been going up against. But a lot of that has come on some chunk runs. He's had about 3 for 40. The rest of them have been stuck in the mud. Play fake, looking for Jones. No, go the opposite way. Logan Keel, incomplete. I thought that was caught. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop.
Yeah, we should stop trying to predict things. We're clearly very bad at it.
Well, apparently Coach Bouvette agrees with us. This will be the third challenge for whether a receiver has a foot in bounds or not tonight. And I think we should all just take a moment of silence. Although, that's not really great television, so we have to say something.
We'll be loud in this moment of silence. I think R62 is getting a lot more camera time than he needs. But I could be wrong. We were wrong before.
Well, we can't be wrong that time because we didn't predict it. That one is overturned as well. So we've had 3 challenges, all successful by these coaching staffs. Unbelievable.
I mean, I think these refs on the field need to get their eyes checked if there's this many challenges. That's 3 challenges, and they had that booth review earlier as well.
2nd and 4 at the 50 now off the completed pass to Keel. Miller over the middle, caught by Jones. Joseph makes the tackle, but Giacomo Jones gets down to the 39-yard line, and it's like here pretty soon it'll be like Chicago's surge at the start of the third quarter never happened.
Yeah, Josh Miller is doing a great job to retrace his steps, not make any mistakes again, and I think that we've had more red flags thrown than yellow flags thrown this game.
I think you're right. From the Chicago 39-yard line, strong side left. Going to throw that way. Miller has to get rid of it. He got crushed past the 35. McChesney. Oh, McChesney. Good night. Get the blanket and tuck Jesse Vick in. That was disturbing.
He somehow didn't get the first down either. Now it's going to be another tough run. Maybe they challenge it again.
Challenge the first down. Yeah, we've seen 3 times that Denver's been in inches situations. Hand off McChesney, they've gotten it every time. McChesney picks up a couple, gets to the Chicago 27, and what a response by Denver. After they lost the league last week, they just folded, just had lost total momentum. Tonight, they bounced back. That McChesney run was the difference, turned momentum back into their favor.
Yeah, McChesney just established himself as a threat early, and I think Chicago might have forgotten about it a little bit. McChesney had to remind him.
Nickel look for Chicago's defense. Miller changing the play at the line, 1:10 to go in the third. Miller to pass. Outside Keel. Turn the corner. Just couldn't keep it up, but did get the catch. 79 yards on 7 catches. Very quietly. Most of that coming in the second half.
Yeah, he's quietly having a good day. Every single receiver on Denver's side really getting the ball often. Miller's just been able to put together some fantastic drives here, getting the ball to every receiver and getting some positive gains.
Under a minute to go, and Denver, this is the 6th play of this drive, going long, caught in double coverage to Bryce Battle. Did you see the confidence of Miller on that throw?
That was a bullet. He threw that ball so hard. He looked like a pitcher out there. That was a perfect throw. His receiver, Bryce Battle, able to go up, win the battle, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
6 plays, 57 yards so far on the drive. Denver had an 8-play, 72-yard touchdown drive earlier before the pick 6. They've also had drives of 10, 12, and 11 plays tonight, all scoring drives. Hand off to McChesney. Won't get there, and it'll be 2nd and goal, and that might be the last play before the end of the third. Second and goal at the 4, and when we come back on the other side of the break, it'll be play number 8 for the Night Wings. Put your 4s up. Denver up 7 and knocking on the door, trying to get their 14-point lead back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Start of the 4th quarter, and Denver's got the ball 4 yards away from scoring. Chicago in desperate need of a turnover. here on the last game of the Monday slate for the Simulation Football League. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. 8 in the box. Hand off McChesney. Will only get a couple. 98 yards for McChesney. And we've seen Chicago in that 4-4 a lot tonight. It's been hit or miss.
Yeah, they have to stack this box against such a powerful runner like McChesney. But they haven't been able to account for Josh Miller's great arm.
A bunch over to the left. Is Miller going to throw this ball here? Yes, he is. Miller against a blitz, and he's hit as he threw. Heck of a play by Jones III, and that'll force a Jackman field goal, so he keeps his quota for his contract. Denver will take likely a 10-point lead.
And you got to be relaxing as a Night Wings fan. I know we're all worried about Kramer Jackson's contract, so good that he's hitting that quota. Bad that it's not 7 points, though.
I think Denver would have felt a lot more comfortable being up 14 than up 10. Plenty of time left. And this chip shot, 19-yard field goal for Jackman. He could do it in his sleep, and it's good. His mom told me a story one time. He was tucked in his bed, and his right leg was twitching.
Oh, that's how she knew.
Yep.
How she knew he was going to be a kicker.
That's right.
And look at his leg going to twitch here again. If you look closely.
The twitch obviously has turned into a full-blown swing, professional swing, but there it is right there.
Beautiful. Since he was a kid, you can tell too.
2 yards into the end zone. Reed on the return up to the 20. All right, up to E.T. King and the rest of this offense to make it happen.
Yeah, this is if they want a touchdown drive at any point in this game, this would be the time to do it. E.T. King needs to drive them down the field. He's shown he can do it before, though.
3 receivers, 2 to the right. King gonna throw. King flips it outside, caught by Varner. Nice pursuit there by Papineau. And coming into the game, Hall of Famers in the making, McChesney and Odom, 6th and 7th most rushing yards in the league tonight. McChesney, 109 yards on 21 carries. Ash Odom, 25 yards on 8 carries. Chicago's been down most of the night.
Yeah, McChesney eclipsing 1,000 yards already this game.
Handoff Odom. And Odom stuffed again. No gain on the play. Des Troyer and Adam Wiseman make the stop. Wiseman going to be a coach in Birmingham for the minor league that starts in a month. What do you think of those minor league teams that came out?
Hey, I think it's going to be a great way for rookies to get involved early, build themselves as players, and get into the SFL as even better players than we see them.
Over 100 players already lined up for the SFL minor leagues, which start in 29 days. If you're new to the SFL, get your spot to get into the SFL M and begin your SFL career. Subscriptions are going fast, and the inaugural kickoff is next month. First Pro subscribers get first priority on choosing their position, so don't delay your career another second. We can't wait for you to make an impact. 4th and 2, Chicago has to punt, and that's low-key. Pretty big storyline here. Their defense is going to have to come up with a stop, and soon.
Darren Franklin definitely seeing a little bit more light of day than they would want. And Denver's defense did a really great job there, able to step up and just stop Chicago in their tracks. Any kind of momentum that they wanted to get on that drive, it was shut down immediately. And now this is Denver's game to lose. They need to drive down the field here, burn down some clock, and put it out of reach of Chicago.
8:40 left. I formation for Denver. Critical possession here. Feel like it could make or break this game as Miller's pass caught by Jones picks up 6. So the beneficiary, as you look at the updated receiving leaders tonight, the beneficiary of Chicago losing would be Jacksonville. They would leap into 7th place. They host London tomorrow night. Chicago falls back to 5-5, and they would actually slip back to 9th because in week 1, Tulsa beat Chicago on a Hail Mary, and they would own the head-to-head based off that Hail Mary way back at the beginning of the season, as Miller's pass is caught by Keel for the first down to the 48-yard line.
And it just goes to show you how every game counts. You know, even if it's as early as the first game of the season, maybe that first win doesn't have too much of an impact, but later on it will come back to haunt you, and it could very well haunt the Chicago team.
Denver will keep me up all night trying to figure out where they fit into the now 6-way tie at 4-6 if they're able to hold on to this victory. And if Vegas loses tomorrow at Carolina, it would be an 8-way tie because Carolina would improve to 4-6 and Vegas would fall to 4-6. And at that point, I will be turning in my resignation papers. Second down.
Yeah, I do not envy you there.
An 8-way tie in a 20-team league is ridiculous.
Come on.
But
Not
parity
fair.
speaks to parity. 2nd and 10 at the 49. 2 in the backfield, handoff, Miller to McChesney. McChesney trying to get outside and does. McChesney tackled by Yosef, but after the first down line, and that was Jesse Vick again on permanent hospice at this point. McChesney is crushing him.
You know, and it's really not fair for Vic. You know, he's on that assignment trying to stop McChesney from breaking to the outside. Well, one thing about McChesney and the outside, it's his favorite place. And how could Vic ever want to prevent him from going there?
And it's good scheme by Denver here tonight as well as McChesney goes inside. McChesney's had his success outside when instead of running against Judas Essie or Hendershot, he's been running against Jesse Vick and Maurice Spurgeon and some of the smaller guys, and he's found a way running downhill outside to really be the difference maker. 2 in the backfield. Denver bleeding clock once again. The handoff to McChesney this time. Again, there's Hendershot. He has lost that battle more often than not, has McChesney, and it brings up 3rd down and 10. Chicago has had the ball 38 plays in the game. Denver has had the ball for 74 plays in the game. That is a time of possession dominance that we often do not see in the SFL. 3rd down and 10. Miller's pass caught by Keel, but it's going to be short. But Kramer Jackman will get a chance to put another one in the record books.
And actually, with the kick, that'll put Denver at double Chicago's plays. Put them at 76. And that just goes to show you the domination that Josh Miller has put together on offense this game. You know, he's putting together some beautiful drives, long plays, going down the field, wearing out Chicago's defense, burning out the clock, and Chicago has no way to recover from that.
47-yarder, but the Chicago defense keeps it a 2-score game. Very important. Jackman's field goal, money. Didn't think the ball was going to come down. 37-24 off the made field goal. And Denver has it rocking. It's a 13-point game. Can they hold off the Chicago Wildcats, equally desperate for a win in the playoff mess? You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. .546 to go in the 4th quarter. Denver's 37 points. Now the most that they have scored all season. And the most they've scored dating all the way back to September 22nd, 2019 in a regular season victory over the London Knights when they scored 37. Reed only up to the 17-yard line. And so King's going to have to go 83 yards.
Yeah, that is a pretty hard feat for King, considering he only has 125 passing yards. and Odom only has 24 running yards. So Chicago, they're going to have to find a way to pull together a drive and then try to get an onside kick so you can keep this game winnable.
4 wide. King changing the play at the line. 5:42 to go in the fourth. Quick pass middle, caught by Varner, but immediately pushed backwards by Gustafson, the safety. And it'll bring up 8. Chicago not in hurry-up mode just yet, trying to stay calm.
Yeah, can't panic. If you put on the panic button, you're going to force some mistakes. E.T. King could throw a costly interception. Any turnover here ends the game for Chicago. They can't come back after that. So they have to play it with no mistakes, and they have to play it cool.
King with 13 completions and 10 incompletions. A QBR just 51 tonight. 2nd and 2 at the 25. Credit Denver's defense. Handoff to Odom up the middle. Ash Odom will get 6 yards on one of his better runs of the night. Gustafson makes the tackle, and that actually is Ash Odom's longest run of the game. That is an unbelievable stat.
That makes me a little bit sad. I'm not going to lie. Just a little bit.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Trips left. 4:42 to go in the fourth. King. Pass. Oh, most taken the other way. Kindler in the slot doing his job. Forces another incompletion.
And, you know, they're at the 31. Kindler, if he was able to grab that ball out of the air, that is a pick 6 every single day. And he wishes he could have that back. That would have put this game completely out of reach.
4:39 to go. Plenty of time for Chicago. They're going to need an onside kick no matter what. Do have all 3 timeouts. 4 receivers, 3 to the top of the screen. King looking down the middle, caught. First down, quickly caught by Yuya Iba, who dates all the way back to the early days of the SFL, still ticking. Pass caught for a 4-yard gain there by Hammer into Denver territory.
And Chicago smartly going with the hurry up there a little bit. You may not need to be panicking, but you definitely need to get down the field because you have to score a touchdown here, then you have to recover the onside kick, and then you have to hopefully have enough time to score another touchdown. That's the only way that Chicago is going to win this. They have to hurry up a little bit.
2nd down and 6, 4:22 to go. 4 receivers for King. Dime look for the Denver defense. Quickly over the middle, pass caught to the 35-yard line, gain of 11. That's Davius Reed. So he's hit Reed, Iba, and Hammer, along with Varner, all on this drive. First down at the Denver 35. Still looking to connect with Torres, the leading receiver tonight. Quick throw, and he wasn't sure about that one. Tried to connect with his 5th different receiver, Austin Matrullo, on the drive. 4 minutes even.
Yeah, I think he was trying to thread that one in between the defenders. Gustafson nearly got a hand on it, but E.T. King needs to put a little bit more sauce on it, get more power into so that they can actually catch it. But if you just air it out, it's going to be a lob. They're not going to have enough time to catch it.
Odom alone in the backfield, but he has been stripped of the game plan since Denver regained the lead after the game was tied at 24. Now the dump off. Look at all the Nightwings blue. There are about 6 players that converged on him. 3rd down and 9. They'll need to audible out of that. 3 receivers. King to throw. Middle wide open for the first down. That's Iba again with his 2nd catch. 3:35 left. Chicago continues to move. King dumped short to Odom. That's a mess. Loss of 1.
6 more Denver defenders on him again there. They sing that every time.
King got to go downfield. King fires it out. Iba dropped it, and it nearly resulted in another pick 6 in this game. 3rd and long coming, but it does allow Chicago to regroup here a bit.
Yeah, that incompletion could help them a little bit. You need to regather your bearings about you. You know, try to go about this the right way. You have 2 plays here because you are in 4th down territory here, or 4 down territory. So you have 2 plays. You need to get a first down.
5 wide, Denver in the dime. 3:17 to go, 4 down territory for the 5-4 Wildcats. King to throw. King in trouble. Throws a wobbler. He turned around, Ryan, and wasn't even looking downfield, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, he knew that he had an assignment there. He had a receiver that he knew was supposed to be there, but he just didn't check for any oncoming Denver defenders that might be there to try to make an interception. And now this is Chicago's last play if they can get it.
4th and 11 for King. Gotta have it. Just inside the 15. King back to throw. King fires middle. It's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Threw it into traffic, and that is not what Chicago needed. And it's not singing time just yet, but it's getting close.
It's about there. Look at Mel Davis there getting his 2nd deflection in a row. He got the one on the last play. Came up huge to stop the Chicago offense, and it's about that time where Chicago needs a miracle.
Chicago has lost games this year by 1, 6, and 3 points. They lost by 3 to 9-1 Atlanta. They lost by 1 to 5-5 Tulsa, who they'll now be tied with and below. They also got hammered by 7-3 Queen City, and you just wonder, can Chicago beat some of these top teams at the top of the standings? They've struggled with those type of teams, and even though Denver's 3-6, they are the defending champs after all.
Yeah, there's a reason they went to that championship game. They have some great players on their team. You know, Josh Miller spent 5 seasons with this team, and he has Logan Keel with him as well. Giacomo Jones has 4 seasons. McChesney has 4 seasons. So you have a lot of veterans that just know this playbook really well, and they've been executing perfectly today.
Still 3 timeouts for Chicago, though. Save them for after the 2-minute warning. This will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Handoff goes to McChesney, and they're running inside, so that's not doing much. 3rd and 12. We saw Denver go for it on 4th and 3 at the end of the first half. I wonder if they try to stay aggressive and throw on 3rd and 12 coming out of the 2-minute break, because a throw could be game, set, match if they get a first down. We'll find out what they're going to do on the other side of this break. Denver 37-24, the defending champs, 2 minutes away from keeping their playoff hopes alive. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. With Mark Chisholm on stats, Ryan Caudell, the analyst for tonight's game. I'm play-by-play commentator Cameron Irvine. And Denver trying to be the 6th team this week to either improve or fall to 4-6. In this case, Denver would be improving. 3rd and 12. It looks like they're going to pass. They do. And the pass is knocked down at the line by Scott Fountain. Signed in week 6. What a play. Chicago saves all their timeouts, and Denver's aggressiveness does not pay off.
Yeah, the Fountain went up for it, and he made a great play there. Just coming on in week 6 as a rookie, making a huge play, keeping Chicago's slim hopes alive.
I don't fault the play call. If a guy signed off the streets in week 6 is going to make a play like that, just got to tip your cap and play defense. Reed shakes one, stiffs another, and gets out to the 45. And honestly, all he did was waste more clock. What a return.
Yeah, it looked cool, though. You know, we'll give him that. It may have wasted some clock, but I got a little excited there. You know, it's pretty cool.
Looked like that suit jacket.
Yeah, man. Come on.
As cool as the fit on that.
Oh, yeah.
In the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 45. 1:46 to go in the 4th. Now it's really the last gasp for Chicago. King hoping for better 2-minute offense here. Out to Torres, couldn't get out of bounds. Nice play by Papineau. Quickly now. Hammer in the slot. Split backs, 1.5 to play. King, 3-step drop, fires it out. Odom, where is he going? Stiff arm, get out of bounds. He does. 3rd and 4.
He ran a little bit backwards there. Chicago fans were probably yelling at their TV screens at him, but he's able to turn it into a positive gain of 2. But now it's a 3rd down again for Chicago. They haven't had much success converting these, only 2 for 10 today. So we'll have to see if they can get one here.
3rd down and 4 at the 49. 1:27 to go in the 4th quarter. 37-24 Denver. Chicago needs some answers here. In 4-down territory, King pats the ball. Caught at the 38-yard line. What a laser to Liam Hammer. Drive stays alive. 1:16 to go in the 4th quarter. Denver quickly getting back into position. Mel Davis the last to get there. Pass middle, caught. But this is not doing anything for the time management. Reed with the catch. Well, they need a post or a corner or something here. King over the middle. Should have been picked. 3rd down. I mean, we just haven't seen anything deep and outside from Chicago really all day today.
Yeah, it's just that 3-man slant coming across every single time on a pass play. I mean, granted, it works for short yardage situations whenever you're trying to get, down the field and build a drive. But right now, this is a score now play territory. You have to score, and then you have to get an onside kick. I don't think they'll have enough time.
King fires it out. Mike Improta cannot make the man miss, and they'll have to call a timeout. Improta's first touch of the night. If he would have made his man miss, I would have lost my mind. I have seen more teams lose games this year on slants than in any season. I quite frankly, I don't understand it. You got to get the W's, especially in shotgun when you need plays late. It's a killer.
That's right.
Improta in the chat, what a catch. 4th and 2 at the 30. Another 4th down for Chicago. 4 wide. Deep ball, cut! Touchdown time! Liam Hammer! It's a 7-point game!
Now that is exactly what Chicago needed. Just go deep with it. Finally! It may have been a slant, but they got into the end zone. Hammer on the nail. Put the nail not in the coffin, but hopefully they can dig themselves out of the grave that they built themselves into.
His 2nd touchdown of his career, and with 48 seconds to go, Chicago's still alive with 2 timeouts in their pocket. Anthony Cece with the extra point. It's good, and it's 37-31. What a dime from King, and I don't know how Hammer beat the defense on that one.
I mean, he told them the facts. You can't touch this. I had to get into the end zone. I really want a clip of your singing. I want that to be my new ringtone.
It wasn't really a sing, is more of an emphatic slamming home of the score for Hammer, and now the onside kick from Cece is easily recovered. However, outside of field goal range and outside of 40 seconds, so if Chicago can play their cards right, they might get one last shot.
Yeah, hopefully a turnover. That's what they need, is some kind of miraculous turnover. Another pick 6 would be beautiful. Maybe Joseph can pull another rabbit out of a hat.
And honestly, I don't mind this at all from Denver. Just like you said, a turnover is what they need. They're not going to give it to them. They're just going to take knees, punt it deep. And, I mean, what is outside of that last pass to Hammer, what have we seen out of Chicago's offense tonight that has been a 30-plus yard pass play down the field? Just haven't seen it.
Yeah, we're left wondering if Chicago has enough left in the tank if they do get this ball back. And Denver has great field position, so a punt will probably pin Chicago deep or at their 20 at best.
Now, I will say that a field goal would have made it a 9-point game. But, I mean, can you imagine turning the ball over with Chicago having 1 or 2 timeouts, especially after that last series, and giving them great field position, I mean, I totally understand why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to run maybe the entire time off this clock. There's only a 3-second differential, which means that this might be on Davius Reed. He did make 2 people miss last time, but he would have to make a lot of – it would be the longest punt return in league history for a touchdown, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, and the clock's going to run out on this punt for sure. So, Chicago fans, say a prayer. Hope that Davius Reed can pull the rabbit out of the hat and run it back, maybe.
If Solomon Kane can get this inside the 10, it might be ball game. Kane punts it away. Surprised Chicago did not run after it. Here's the last play. It's inside the 10, but Reed has to return it. Reed past the 10, breaks a tackle, and that's the end of the game. Nick Kidler saved it. He got all the way out to the 15-yard line, but could not get the rest. He would have needed about 95 yards and just couldn't get it all. And despite Chicago only having 295 yards of offense, they put up a valiant effort, and Denver ends up having 84 offensive plays to Chicago's 58 here tonight. And overall, Denver had about 3/4 of time of possession. What a game.
Yeah, you said it. Denver was able to just take over this game. They ran out the clock, and I think Josh Miller just put together some beautiful drives for Denver. You know, that's what you need. You need those long drives that burn out clock, and they really just suffocated Chicago, and Chicago's offense just didn't have the juice to come back from it. So Denver just put on a beautiful display.
6 teams now at 4-6. You can add Denver to the mix, and there could be a new team in technically 11th by the end of the night. It's almost guaranteed. New Orleans, Florida, St. Louis, Arizona, Mexico City, and now Denver, all at 4-6. That leaves teams with 7 losses like London and Houston wondering if there's any room for them left. And if you can believe it, Denver is now 1 game back of 8th place. After all they've been through. And think about this. Coming into the season, Denver had the toughest strength of schedule of any team in the league, and they have still, playing playoff team after playoff team, they're still, with the coaching transition, the defense sort of mass exodus after the victory, still in it. That is a heck of a job, and huge props to Jeremy Vega for keeping the franchise, you know, steady despite all of the changes this year.
Yeah, Vega has done a lot for this team, and they just do not give up. They will not quit. You know, any game is winnable, and they've just looked really good against the good teams too. That's what's important going into the playoffs. You know, you have a team like Chicago falling to a weaker team, but Denver is able to put up big games against big teams.
Josh Miller is your player of the game. What a night. 101.6 QBR, 37 of 44, 329 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Denver keeps their season alive. Chicago's lost 2 straight and now 5-5. For Mark Chisholm, Ryan Caudell, and I'm Cameron Irvine. What a night here in the SFL. We'll see you back here next week in 11 Sports, and for the fans, good night from Denver.